Hi everyone. Welcome to the next video. In this video, we'll be talking about questions of profit and loss where two or more items are sold at the same selling price, sometimes the same profit and loss percent. How do you tackle such questions? And is there a concept around it? And then there's one more concept about, say, N articles. The cost price of N articles is equal to selling price of M articles. How do you calculate profit and loss percentage there? So let's take the first example. So they've told us that dealer sold two watches at rupees 1500 each. That means the selling price of the first watch is 1500. Selling price of the second watch is also 1500. One at a profit of 25% and the other at a loss of 25%. Find the overall absolute and percentage profit or loss. So there are two parts I want. Whether, first of all, is there a profit? Is there a loss? I want the percentage profit and loss and the overall absolute profit and loss. So let's see how do you go about it. Let's take both the articles separately. The first watch was sold at a profit of say 25%. Profit is 25%. When I say profit is 25%, what does it mean? Selling price is 125% of the cost price. When I mean profit is 25%, 25% is 1 by 4. So I can say selling price is 5 by 4 of the cost price, right? Once I know this, they have told us the selling price, which is 1500. So 1500 multiplied by 4 by 5 will become my cost price of the first watch. 5 ones are 5, 300. So cost price of the first watch becomes 1200 rupees, right? Now, how do I find the cost price of the second watch? Same method. Here they have told us loss. So the loss is 25%, which is 1 by 4. So I could write the selling price is 75% of the cost price, or I can write that the selling price is 3 by 4 of the cost price, right? Now, selling price is still same 1500. So I'll get 1500 into 4 upon 3 will become the cost price of the second watch. This was the cost price of the first watch. So 3 ones are 3, 500s are. And my second cost price becomes 2000 rupees. So what is the total cost price of both the watches? 2000 plus 1200, 3200. So total cost price of both the watches together was 3200, while total selling price was 1500 plus 1500, 3000. Total selling price was 3000 rupees. So something which I have bought for 3200, I have sold for 3000. That means overall there is a loss. So how much was the absolute? That means loss in terms of rupees. Loss would be 200 rupees because you bought for more and sold for less. The loss is 200. What about loss percent? Okay. Loss percent is loss upon cost price. So loss is 200 upon your cost price is 3200 into 100. If you solve this out, you will get two zeros cut out over here. Two ones are 216s are. Cut 4 are 425s are. And the final answer will be 6.25%. The net loss is 6.25%. So now this question that we did, we understood that we did both the watches separately. We found the cost price of both the watches, combined and found the total cost price, total selling price, and got the question. Was there a shortcut or is there a concept behind this which I can apply? Yes. So pay attention to the concept first of all. When can the concept be used? Both items have same selling price. First of all, both items have the same selling price. So in our case, both of them had a selling price of 1500. And profit percentage of first should be equal to loss percent of second. That means in that case, they told us that 25% profit is made and 25% loss is made. So that in this case was 25%. Suppose it is normally X percent or whatever. Suppose that percentage was given X. Then what is the formula which we can get directly? First thing, you will understand that it will always be a loss. And the loss percent, overall loss percentage will be X square upon 100%. The overall loss percent will be X square upon 100%. And the absolute loss in rupees will be 2 into P square into selling price upon P is that X square into selling price upon 100 square minus X square. Very frankly, even if you don't remember this formula, it is completely okay. Even if you just remember this formula, it is more than enough. Now let's see how could we have used this formula in the same question behind. Suppose if I had to do the same question behind, but if I knew the formula or I knew the concept. So from 25 and 25, I know that the net loss percent would be X square upon 100. That is 25 into 25, 625. 625 upon 100 is 6.25%, right? Now, 6.25% from fractions we should know is 1 by 16. 1 by 16 is 6.25%. Now, how do I use this? If my loss is 1 by 16, can I say my selling price is 15 by 16 of the cost price? My selling price is 15 by 16 of the cost price. So selling price, total selling price was 3,000. Multiply by 16 by 15 of the cost price. 15 twos are 30, 200. And hence my cost price will become 3,200. My cost price will become 3,200. My selling price was 3,000. Cost price is 3,200. And therefore loss would be 200 rupees. Can we try and use the other formula, which was not a very great formula, but still 2 into x square. X over here is 25. So 25 square, 625 into SP. SP of 1. That is why this 2 is there. So 1,500 upon 100 square, which is 10,000 minus x square. X square is 25, so 625. So we will get 2 into 625 into 1,500 upon 9,375, right? Subtract this, you get 9,375. Let's calculate this very carefully. 25, 25 is a 25, 3 is a 75, sorry. This should come out to be 187. 25, 7 is 175, 12, 25, 5 Again, we'll go in 25, 25, 1 25 1s are 12, 25 5s 5 1s 15 1s 15 1s over here 100. So 200. You will get this 200. As I said, very frankly, this formula can be completely avoided. You can just concentrate on that one formula, that net loss percentage will always be x square upon 100%, right? I have shown you two approaches. You can use whatever approach you like for these type of questions. Can we now look at one more question with a little bit extra step in it? Not too much, but one more extra step. A dealer sells 3 wristwatches. 2 of the watches are sold at a common selling price of 2,400 each. That means selling price of 1 is 2,400. Selling price of 2 is also 2,400. One of these gives a 20% profit, the other gives a 20% loss. So on one of them, there's a profit of 20%. And on the other, there's a loss of 20%. So the concept is same what we just learned. The third watch is sold at rupees 3,000, earning an overall profit equal to the overall loss made on the first 2 watches. We already know there's a loss on the first 2 watches. So the third watch gives us a profit by selling at 3,000. Find the cost price of the third watch. So rest all remains the same. The first part remains the same. What will be the net loss percentage? The loss percentage is x square upon 100%. 20 into 20 is 400. 400 upon 100 is 4% loss. Now, when there is 4% loss, we say selling price is 96% of the cost price, right? 4 2s are 4 4s are 4 25s are. So selling price is 24 upon 25 of the cost price. And we know that the selling price is 2,400 per watch. That means total selling price is 4,800 into 25 upon 24 will give me cost price. 24 2s are 0 0. So cost price will become 5,000. So the combined cost price of both the watches was 5,000. Right? The combined selling price was 4,800. Therefore, the absolute loss in rupees will be 200 rupees. The absolute loss is 200 rupees. Now, what have they asked for? There was a third watch which was sold for 3,000, earning a profit which we made overall in these two watches. Therefore, cost price of the third watch will be 3,000 minus 200, which will be 2,800. Very frankly, this last part was just an extra addition to just maybe complicate the question a little bit so the students get confused. But the immediate part of the question was, the first part of the question was the same concept where two articles are sold at the same selling price, one at a profit of X%, the other at a loss of X%, and we directly applied the property. Let's have a look at the next type of concept which we are studying in this video. The cost price of 11 articles is same as the selling price of 9 articles. Find the profit or loss percent. The best way to do such questions is just learn how to translate English to maths. How do you do that? Cost price of 11 articles is equal to selling price of 9 articles. We've just written that English into maths. We converted that. Cost price of is multiplication of 11 is equal to selling price of 9. Convert this to a ratio. So if I want to write selling price as it is, I want to bring this cost price down. Here 11 remains as it is, 9 will come down, right? You can check after cross multiplying, you're getting the same thing. So we've got a ratio where we've got selling price upon cost price is 11 by 9. Whenever you get a ratio like this, no, learn how to use that ratio smartly. You can always say, let the cost price of the article be, so if the cost price of the article is 9, selling price is 11. So I can assume the cost price to be 9 and selling price to be 11, which means there's a profit. We want to find profit percentage. So profit will be 2 rupees, right? If I'm buying something for 9 and selling for 11, profit is 2 upon the cost price 9 into 100. 1 by 9 we know is 11.11. So 2 by 9 will be 22.22%. And therefore the profit in this case will be 22.22. This is the easiest way of doing this. There can be one more way of doing this, is taking LCM. The second way of doing this question would be actually taking LCM. You'll get the same thing. You write the first step as it is. Cost price of 11 is equal to selling price of 9, and you take them equal to the LCM, which is 99. So you say cost price of 11 articles is 99 rupees. Therefore, cost price of one article is 99 divided by 11, 9 rupees. And selling price of 9 articles is 99 rupees. So therefore, selling price of one article becomes 11 rupees. And you get the same thing. Therefore, profit is 2 rupees. And profit percentage is 2 upon 9 into 100, which we just said was 22.22%. So both the approaches are more or less same, but one of them you can directly convert to a ratio. People who don't understand a ratio can do this also, right? Let's take the exact same thing in a different way. Cost price of 9 articles is equal to selling price of 11. So if I write cost price of 9 is equal to selling price of 11, what will I get? Selling price remains as it is, cost price comes down. So here 9 will remain as it is, 11 will come down. So we've got a ratio 9 by 11 is selling price by cost price. We can say if the cost price is 11, selling price is 9. So which means my loss is 2 rupees. But I want to find loss percentage. This time there will be a loss. You're buying for 11, selling for 9. So there'll be a loss. So loss of 2 rupees. 2 upon how much? 2 upon 11. Because loss upon cost price into 100. 1 upon 11 we know is 9.09 from our fractions ka list. 1 upon 11 is 9.09. So 2 upon 11 will be 18.18%. Right? Let's have a look at the next question. The next question combines the same concept with one more part to it. So let's see a couple of different approaches for this question. The cost price of 9 articles is equal to selling price of 11 articles. Additionally, due to handling, 2 articles are damaged for every 50 articles purchased. So when you purchase 50 articles, you damage 2 articles. If you notice, there was already a loss because whatever 9 articles you're buying for, you're selling 11 articles for that much, which means there's a loss and there's some handling loss. So there'll be more loss. So definitely at the end, there will be a loss. We need to find that loss percentage. So let's pay attention how to do it. Suppose if I say cost price of 9 is equal to selling price of 11. Suppose I did the earlier method where I took this as 99. So I get cost price of one article is 11 rupees and selling price of one article is 9 rupees. Selling price of one article becomes 9 rupees. Now, let's assume we purchase 50 articles. We could purchase anything in multiples of 50, will not matter. But suppose if I purchase 50 articles, so what is my total cost price, which is for 50 articles? It will be 11 into 50, which will be 550. And what will be my total selling price, which will now be only of 48 articles, not of 50 articles, because we don't have two articles got damaged or whatever, we could not sell them. So we have 9 into 48. Okay, that will be 9 8s are 72, 7 carry, 9 4s are 36, 36 plus 7 is 43. 432 is the total selling price. So there's definitely a loss we can see. How much is the loss in rupees? So that will be, I think, 118, right? 8, 1, yeah, 118 rupees loss. What is your loss percentage? That's very important. Loss percentage is loss upon cost price into 100. So we can cut the 0 out. We'll get 5 11s are 5 2s are. 118 into 2 is 236. So we've got 236 divided by 11. Let's get a decimal approximately to two places. 11 2s are 22, 1. 11 ones are 11, 5 remains. So 50. So 11 4s are 44, 6 and 11 5s. So approximately 21.45%. That will be the loss percentage. So there were two parts to it. We found the cost price and selling price of 1, and then we did for 50 articles. There can be a much smarter way to do this question, a much faster way to do this question. For students who already understood this topic well, can try and apply this approach also. So pay attention to the second approach. So we know cost price of 9 is equal to selling price of 11. So selling price upon cost price is 9 by 11. So we'd already done all this from the previous question. The loss is 2 by 11, right? The loss is 2 by 11. What is the second loss? Let's leave this loss as it is. What is the second loss? 2 articles are damaged over every 50 articles. So the second loss as a fraction is 2 by 50, which is 1 by 25. So in short, there are two losses. One is 2 by 11 and one is 1 by 25. So I can say selling price will be cost price multiplied by first loss is 2 by 11. That means my selling price becomes 9 by 11. And the second one becomes 24 by 25. Right? Now, if you do this, we get the selling price and cost price ka ratio. Remember, we want to find the loss. Let's just find the ratio from here. Selling price upon cost price will be 24 9s are. 9 4s are 36. 3 carry 216 upon 275. That means if your cost price is 275, your selling price is 216, which means how much is the loss percentage? Loss will be the difference of these two. How much will that be? That will be 59 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, let's just take 276 minus 216 is 60. So 59. So loss percentage will be 59 upon 275 into 100. That will be 25 4s are 25 1s are 25 and 25 1s are. Let's do 59 4s are. That will be 36 3 216 236, right? 236 upon 11 should come out to be the same answer, 21.45%, right? 11 twos are 21.45%. So this can also be one more method to do the question where we look at fractions, because the two losses were 2 by 11. When a loss is 2 by 11, your selling price has to become 9 by 11, and the second loss is 1 by 25. So the selling price has to become 24 by 25. So people who understand this topic well can also apply this approach for this question. Well, I hope you've understood these type of questions looking at this video. Thank you.